Hello everyone, my name is Doreen Maweje and I'm here again. Happy World Travel Uganda, Quality Control Manager and Legal Personnel. So I'm here to speak about something that looks very basic and something that looks like it is known but then it's actually not known by a given percentage of people. And what is this? It is a visa. For the time we've been working with Happy World Travel Uganda, most of us as the employees of the company actually thought that when someone comes and they're asking about visas, they actually know what they're asking about. Someone just comes and they're like, how much does it cost for a visa to the UK? How much does it cost to, for a visa to maybe South Africa, to Egypt? And we're just speaking prices, not until I got this one call and someone was asking me something that looked so basic, but then actually we needed to enlighten about it. What is a visa? In simple terms, I want to try to explain it in a layman. A visa is an acknowledgement from another country to let a citizen of another country to go into it for maybe business, it could be academics, it could be a tourism. So for instance, if the USA gives me a visa as a Ugandan citizen, so it is acknowledging the fact that I could enter into their country legally to either do business, to either acquire education, to either go for tourism, do I have a conference, whatsoever. So that is basically what a visa is in a layman. And then there are categories of countries and different rules in regards to visas. There are some visa exempt countries, but this comes on where how that particular country, for instance, I'll use Uganda, how it relates with that other country. What is the bilateral agreement with that country? For example, what is the bilateral agreement between Uganda and Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Uganda, USA, Uganda, Malaysia, Uganda, Singapore, Uganda, Zanzibar? So when it comes to Uganda and countries like Kenya, countries like Tanzania, these are visa exempt countries. In other words, you can go into that country without a visa if you are a Ugandan. Why? They have a bilateral agreement as countries that a citizen from Kenya can come into Uganda without a visa. A citizen of Uganda can move into Kenya without a visa. However, this does not necessarily mean that a one piece is going to move to the border and go into Kenya without any document that speaks about her as a Ugandan. So that is why they will require you to have documents like a passport or a national ID, that book of yellow fever that shows that you were vaccinated and whatsoever. There are some that ask for the COVID-19 certificate or that small book that shows that you were vaccinated or whatsoever. So you have to show documents that prove that you are really from Uganda and prove that you have the right to enter into their country even though it is visa exempt. Then there are countries of which you have to acquire the visa on arrival. There are countries of which when you're leaving Uganda into their country, you will not necessarily have a visa for you to move into the country. However, when you move into that country, immediately you get into the country, you will have to obtain a visa immediately you get there. Then I'll go to the biggest part of visas, countries that require you to have visas. I'll use examples like USA, Germany, Canada, UK, South Africa, Egypt, countries like Netherlands, countries like Sweden, France. All those countries require Ugandans. I'll use Uganda as my sample. You will require Ugandans to acquire visas before they actually get into the country. That is where people come in and they're asking, how much is a visa application to UK? How much is the visa application to Canada? How much is the visa application to Germany and whatsoever? So those are the countries that require you to have a visa before you actually get into the country. So such countries do not have the bilateral agreement like Kenya or Tanzania has with Uganda. They don't have the kind of bilateral agreement. Rather, the agreement is you'd have to require a visa first before you get into that particular country. So what are the requirements? What are some of the basic requirements that one could look at before they even think of wanting to travel to the UK? They want to travel to USA, you want to travel to Canada, you want to travel to Germany. Some of the examples are financial statements. For example, you've heard of bank statements, you proving that you are financially stable, you can sustain yourself when you reach that country. We look at things like the home ties or family ties. What are you leaving behind? That is why you have people having things like the marriage certificates, people to prove that they have marriages back at home and they are really, really, really going to come back into Uganda. Why? Because you're being given this visa. The counselors are believing that you are being given this visa. Is it studying? Is it going in for business? Is it going in for leisure? For example, tourism. They want to believe that you're coming back. So when we provide the home ties or the family ties, we are showing that you have something back at home that is going to bring you back. So if you have something like children and you provide their birth certificates, it is a sign that shows that, okay, this Peace Doreen Mawoje has gone into Canada, but they're going to come back, you know. And then things like marriage certificates. If I am married, I'll have to prove that I'm coming back because I have a marriage or a family to look after. And then we have things like land titles that prove that you have your finances this side. Your wealth is in Uganda. You cannot just leave it like that and then move to another country. Then other things you can look at are things like the employment contracts. Which organization are you working with? What kind of job do? You have to prove that you have a job back at home and it is helping you to be financially stable and that you have to come back to it. So those are some of the few things, really, really, really few and basic things that you can look at while applying for a visa. We shall keep teaching you and engaging you on the new things that come up. Thank you so much for tuning in with Have You Well Travel Uganda. Peace, Doreen Mawoje. We love you so much.